And tonight we are talking to Yvonne Mugure. Yvonne is a brave young lady, a Kenyan living in Los Angeles, California, who went on her Facebook Live yesterday and spoke about being diagnosed with COVID-19. We're talking to her tonight. Yvonne, thank you so much for talking to Citizen TV.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Let's begin with your decision to go public about testing positive for COVID-19. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I wanted to go public. I'll contemplate it a little bit because at first didn't want to go public because I didn't want to heal from the virus. Then nobody wants to be around me. But I figured I'd rather save lives than care about my own reputation. And also specifically, I want to talk to the young kids. I think there are still people still having like underground parties. You know, kids still traveling to Florida and other places in California as well, and not caring that they may be carrying this disease and give it to other people. So I thought that was more important for me to share my experience and show that this could be them too, if they're not careful.
And you're fairly young, Yvonne. How old are you? During your Facebook stream yesterday, you talked about being young and yet getting infected. How old are you?
I am 30.
So you spoke about the myths around who could get infected with COVID-19. You said you're fairly young, but you got infected. Let's get into that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Yes, you spoke about your age and said that a lot of people out there think that only the older groups or the older persons are vulnerable to infection. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so there's this misconception that only people that are older, like in their 40s or even like in 50s or 60s, are getting sick and dying. But I'm 30 now. I just turned 30, so I was in my 20s and I got sick. And I know other people that I've seen online that are younger as well. There's a 17-year-old girl who just died from this virus. So there's this misconception that either that we're too young or we're Black or we're African and we're not getting sick. Right. And that's the biggest lie that there is.
Okay, so before you found yourself in hospital, let's retrace your footsteps. When did you start feeling unwell? How are you feeling?
Okay, so the first thing I noticed was I couldn't smell or taste anything. I just ate something and then I realized that it didn't have a taste to it. But I just dismissed it. I thought it was just, you know, maybe the food didn't have that much seasoning, it was in the fridge for too long. I just dismissed it. But I just couldn't smell. But what really rushed me to the hospital is I actually had no choice. I had gotten up to go move from the sofa to the bed. And when I came back to the sofa, I really felt like someone was choking me and taking all the air out of my body. And I had no choice, but we had to call 911 and they had to come get me.
And when you got into hospital, so tests were run and then you tested positive. How many days have you been in hospital and what hospital are you at?
So I've been in the hospital, now today's my 4th day. I live in Los Angeles, but I came to visit Massachusetts to visit my family. So I'm actually here visiting and then it happened. But when I got to the hospital, they tested me. They actually just told me I had pneumonia. They hadn't told me that I had the COVID-19 yet. And then when the test, they found out that the pneumonia was caused by the COVID-19.
Right. So you mentioned that you're currently visiting your family, meaning that you left your particular area and traveled to go visit your family. Any idea how you could have contracted this disease, how you could have gotten infected?
I honestly have no idea because people around me have tested negative. So I'm not sure if it's somewhere that I went by myself that I got it. It's kind of hard to trace back. I've been to so many places in the last few months. I was traveling, so I have no idea where I got it.
Right.
And that's the scary part.
Take us through the treatment process, Yvonne. You're at hospital right now, so what are doctors doing? What type of treatment are you under?
Okay, so as of right now, I was with in the videos that I posted on Facebook, Instagram. I did have an oxygen system that was helping me breathe because I couldn't breathe, but they're not on that anymore. And I also have antibiotics that they were putting through this tube right here. So periodically they put that in, and then they've attached me to this machine right here that detects my heart rate and my pulse to see, and my oxygen as well, to see if I'm low on oxygen, which was the biggest problem. I wasn't getting oxygen into my body.
So day 4 in hospital, Yvonne, how are you feeling today?
Today is the best I've felt. I've been here. I can taste a little bit, so that's good. So that's coming back. I still can't smell anything, but I'm feeling so optimistic, and I'm feeling so much better today.
In terms of loved ones, of course, you're in an isolation room, an isolation center, for lack of a better word. In terms of loved ones, are you in touch with family, friends, perhaps, you know, people that are extremely close to you? Are you able to communicate with them? Are you in touch with them?
Yes, only via phone or social media. Nobody is allowed to even come visit me. Even when I'm released, I'm not allowed to be around anybody. So I'm just communicating to my friends and family through my cell phone.
So people back here at home, Yvonne, a lot of them and some of them have not grasped the gravity of this situation and how serious a disease this is. What would you like to say to them?
I want to say this is really, really serious. And even if you don't care about yourself, even if you're thinking you just want to have fun and just do whatever you want, care about the people like your parents or people that have already pre-existing diseases that could catch what you have, and it could possibly kill them. You can actually kill somebody. You could be fine and living your life and having a great time, partying, or whatever you're doing, and then pass it along to somebody else, and that would actually kill them.
Right.
You know, I think that's just so insensitive.
So talking about persons close to you, your family and your friends, are there persons that you have previously been in contact with that have tested positive as well? Have they been tested, those that you had been in contact with prior to you being admitted in hospital?
Yeah, so there was one person that I was in contact with that tested positive, but he has since healed. And he doesn't necessarily want me to tell his identity because he's not quite as public as I am. But how I hear from the doctors, they don't feel like I may have gotten it from him because his symptoms were way ahead of mine, and it's just way too long ago that I was in contact with them. So they don't believe it's who I got it from.
Okay, so out of curiosity, Yvonne, are you a Kenyan living in the United States? Do you come home often, or are you permanently based there?
So I do come home often. I was born and raised in Kenya, in Italy specifically, and I used to go to Kibish. That's where my aunt used to live there, but that's where I'm from. But I do live out here, but most of my family is still in Kenya, and I do come visit pretty often. So, and I still speak Swahili, so I'm as Kenyan as they come. I just live in America.
Okay, so you speak Swahili, you still speak Swahili, Yvonne. Unataka kuambia familia yako ama marafiki wako huku Kenya nini? It's very brave of you to be talking to us and sharing your story, and we celebrate you, Yvonne, and we wish you a quick recovery. Unataka kuambia marafiki zako nini huku Kenya?
Okay, nataka kuambia, this is serious. Kuna watu wanakufa. It's like the most serious thing that's going on right now. You know, I feel like if you're not taking it that seriously, take it from me. Would you rather be in the hospital hooked up to all these things or just be at home? You know, I'm just like you. I am young. You know, I'm Kenyan. You know, I'm black, and I got this disease. Right. You know, so be careful. I'm the biggest advocate for staying at home. Please stay at home. You are not invisible. You're just young. That doesn't mean you're invisible.
Yvonne, people want to know how they can follow your story. Social media is powerful, and I actually, through a friend of mine, happened to come across your live stream. So for Kenyans who want to follow your journey, who want to support you, who want to interact with you on social media, how and where can they, where can they find you? Where can they follow you? What's your handle?
Well, first off, I'd like to say I'm so grateful for your friend and you guys for even sharing me on your platform. I want to pass this message along to as many people as I can. And I'm on social media. I do have a YouTube channel. It's Yvonne Mogore, my last name. And everywhere too, on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm Yvonne Mogore on there too. So it's Yvonne Mogore all throughout all my social medias. And I'm gonna be updating every day on my progress, on what's going on. And again, I'm gonna be advocating on staying at home and being careful and not passing this along to anybody else and risking other people's lives.
Yvonne, we thank you so much and we wish you a quick recovery. We're going to be checking up on you regularly. Thank you so much for talking to Citizen TV.
All right, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we've been talking to Yvonne Mogore. She's a Kenyan living in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. She's speaking from her hospital bed. She says the best thing you could do for yourself, for your family, for your country, is to stay home, continue sanitizing. She says this disease is real and she's sensitizing you on how to stay safe.